Thank you, Mr. President. I obviously rise in opposition to Senate File 749. I think the organizations that have been persistent, that have been mentioned, have done a good job outlining why this is a bad bill. I mean, Mr. President, don't threaten me with a good time talking about local government aid and county program aid. I mean, this is, this is such an important topic, not only for the legislature, but specifically to me as somebody who has had to deal with it being implemented, has had to deal with it being taken away midstream. And I've been around long enough to know that when you can get the League of Minnesota Cities, Coalition of Greater Minnesota Cities, and the Association of Minnesota Counties to agree on something and be unified, that is huge. And that, Mr. President, is exactly what this body should be doing today. But Senate File 749 doesn't do that. Sorry, Mr. President. This is a disappointing, divisive, and dangerous bill. This is an all-out attack on local government aid and county program aid, which I will remind are direct property tax relief to Minnesotans. Cities and counties do their budget, start their budget cycle in January. It's not like how we do ours here. And the communities who receive local government aid, Mr. President, they will have their budgets disrupted if their local government aid could be garnished by a neighboring community at any point. This is so disruptive to local governments who we have depended on and applauded their assistance during this pandemic. But we also do that during fires, storms, floods, for a community during their time of need. And we are causing them anxiety and further disruption. And that is wrong. That is not bringing people together. That is not being a good partner to our local partners. There's nothing in this bill that deals with cities who do not receive LGA. This bill, again, is disruptive, divisive, and punitive in nature. In my district, in the city of St. Paul Park, they have a mutual aid agreement with the oil refinery in St. Paul Park. Additionally, there are mutual aid agreements with the cities of Newport and St. Paul Park. And now for context, St. Paul Park and Newport receive LGA. Cottage Grove got a little, but it's not certified for 2021. They did grow, so there's a lot to do with it. But numerous and countless times, Newport and Cottage Grove have shown up to help St. Paul Park with incidents at that refinery that has hazardous materials that are highly volatile and uses hydrofluoric acid. They show up because that is what they do. They support each other. They help each other out. That is the very spirit of our brave and honorable first responders, and this proposal goes against that very spirit. This proposal would be a disincentive to enter into mutual aid agreements in the future, possibly leaving communities even more vulnerable. Now, I'm not going to get in the weeds here today, but cities have an insurance trust through the League, and I believe the cost to those smaller communities to be in that trust will increase due to the high possibility that there will be fewer mutual aid agreements covering those smaller, predominantly rural communities. Cities and counties depend on local government aid and county program aid to provide general government assistance. And you disrupt their budget with this dangerous, disruptive, and punitive proposal. Please, members, small communities, rural communities will be greatly impacted by this bill. Let's stop with the divisiveness. Let's bring people together. Let's lift each other up in their time of need. And let's remember the very spirit of helping your neighbor. Please vote no on Senate File 749.